On the plant kingdom. We are still on the plant kingdom. Where is the duster? We want to look at the superclass Spermatophyta. In the last class we said previously when we started, plant kingdom has 3 divisions: division Talophyta, division Bryophyta, and division Tracheophyta. So we started talking about Tracheophyta. We now say Tracheophyta is subdivided into 2 superclasses. We have Pteridophyta and Spermatophyta. So in the previous class we looked at the Pteridophyta comprising fen. So today we want to start with Spermatophyta. So members of this superclass are called, they are either called spermatophytes. We either call them spermatophytes or flowering plants. Plants that have flowers. Plants that reproduce sexually using their flower. They carry out pollination, and their pollen grains fertilize their egg to form their seed. So they are also known as seed-bearing plants, flowering plants, or seed-bearing plants. Seed-bearing plants or seed plants. So now, then let's look at the further classification of this superclass. So further classification of the superclass Spermatophyta. Now, the superclass Spermatophyta can further be classified into the following two classes. The first one is class Gymnospermae, and the class Angiospermae. So these are the two classes you can have under the superclass Spermatophyta, the Gymnospermae and the Angiospermae. So quickly, let's look at the Gymnospermae. Class Gymnospermae. Members of this class, what are they called? They are called gymnosperm. They are called gymnosperm. So they are also called yes, they are woody plants. But what type of wood? They are called softwood. They are also called softwood. So let's look at their features, general features. of these plants. Number one, they have needle-like leaves. Their leaves look like needle. So you are familiar with this one here. So look at the leaves here. They look like needle. You can see each of them looks like a needle. You can see like a needle. You have needle-like leaf. Can you see that? They are needle-like. Their leaves are like needle. So then another thing about them is that they have naked seed. They have naked seeds. Their seeds are not enclosed in fruit, like the case of angiosperm, where you have, like a mango now, you have the seed inside a fruit. But here, their seeds are naked and dry, so they are not protected by fruit. Then another thing about them is that their flowers are born on a cone. Their flowers are born on a cone. So these are common features of this class. Now let's look at common members of the class Gymnospermae. Common members of the class Gymnospermae. We have pine, we have seasad, we have ens phalanthus, we have ginkgos, we have firs, and so on and so forth. So these are all foreign plants. They are all foreign plants. Like this is a seasad now. They are all foreign plants. They are woody plants. They are plants, trees you can find in the forest of the white people. So that is it. Then we talk about the class Gymnospermae or Angiospermae. Class Angiospermae. Members of this class, they are called angiosperms. So, what do we need to know about them? So they either have broad leaves or narrow leaves. Unlike the one we did now that have needle-like leaf. No, these ones have either broad leaves or narrow leaves. Like this mango now, this is broad leaves. Then the grasses can have narrow leaves. So these are that. So that is one thing about them. So, and another thing is that they have their seeds. Their seeds are enclosed. Within the fruit. So they don't have naked seeds, like the case of the gymnosperm we just did. So their seeds are inside fruit. Fruit cover their seed like mango. You have to eat the fruit before you see the seed inside. So that's one thing about them. So now let's look at further classification. Further classification of the class Further classification of the class Angiospermae. Further classification of the class Angiospermae. This class Angiospermae is further subdivided into two orders, which are order Monocotyledonae and order Dicotyledonae. So the class Angiospermae is further classified into the following two orders. We have one, monocotyledonale, and we have two, dicotyledonale. Monocotyledonale and dicotyledonale. So, what are the monocotyledonale? Let's look at this order, monocotyledonale. So, members of this order, members of this order are called monocots. They are called what? Monocots. Monocot plants or monocotyledonous plants. So you can call them monocot plants, or you can call them monocotyledonous plants. I say members are called monocot plants, or you call them monocotyledonous plants. So examples are members of the family Poaceae, or including this, they call it Graminaceae. Graminaceae. In the past they call it family Graminaceae, but nowadays they now call it Poaceae, which are grasses family, family of grasses, e.g. elephant grass, rice, maize, millets, sorghum, wheat, oats, then bamboo. Bamboo is a woody grass. Bamboo. And some family of Discoriaceae. Discoriaceae, that's yam family. So yam is a monocot. But if you look at the leaf of yam, it is broad. So unlike other ones that their leaf is narrow like this, their leaves are narrow like this. But every other properties we are going to state thereafter about monocots they have them. Okay? So now, etc. So let's look at the general properties. General properties. General properties of monocot plants. General properties of monocot plants. So, want to look at this one. Look at this grass now. I want to capitalize my feature on this grass. What can we see? Look at the leaf. The leaf is narrow. And if you look very well, okay, number one thing we want to say here is that what? They have narrow leaves. They have narrow leaves. Their leaves are narrow. Then number two, if you look closely inside the leaf, you will see some parallel lines inside the leaves. So those are veins, just like you have vein in your body carrying blood. Plants also have vein, but this time around it carries water and soil nutrients and carries translocated food. Am I talking to you? So those veins in monocots, they are parallel. They are parallel. So you have, you have something like this. These narrow leaves. Then you have parallel veins. Look at veins. All these lines now. All these vein, but they are what? Parallel to each other. What are parallel lines? Lines, these are parallel veins. Parallel veins. Parallel lines. Two parallel lines are lines that we never meet. When you continue to look at these two lines now, why are they parallel? Continue to produce them, they will never meet anywhere. Are we together now? So they have these kind of veins now. That's what you have them. So we can say that their leaves have what? Have parallel veins. The veins are parallel. Now let's look at another thing about them. Let's look at the root. Look at the root here. You will discover that in this root, are you seeing what I'm doing here? Look at this type of root. Each of the roots, each of them, they arise from a different spot, from the body of the plant, not from the same place. Different spots. This one is coming from a different place. This one is coming from a different place. This one, each of them come from different spots on the body of the plant. Are we there? So that type of root is called fibrous root. What did I call it? Fibrous root. Some people used to call it adventitious root. Look at this one. This is tap root. You will see that. Look at this one. You will see this one, which we are going to talk about later. This one is dicot. All these roots, they come from only one root. There is only one root here. That root is called primary root. Can you see? This is a primary root from which every other root called secondary root come out from. That type of root is called what? Tap root. This is a tap root. We have only one root. Look at it now. Only one root. Then from this only one root, every other root comes from that root. Every other root coming from that root now, primary root. Are we there? So that is tap root. But this one now is what? This is fibrous root. Are we together? So monocots have fibrous root system. Fibrous root system. When we say fibrous, their root is like fiber. Fibrous root system in the sense that what? Individual root arise from a distinct. What's the meaning of distinct? Distinct or separate spots. So, different spots, separate spots. So that is it. Then another thing to talk about then. I've gone around this garden now. See that you plant maize. You do plant beans. Now, have you seen when this mango was growing? Did you see it when it was growing newly? When it was growing newly, you see that it will bring the seed above the ground, two cotyledons. So Now, but maize, when you plant it, the seed will remain inside the ground. That type of germination in which the seed remains inside the ground and rotting off is called hypogea germination, in which the seed is not brought above the ground. So now they exhibit hypogea germination as what? As their cotyledons. Their cotyledons rotting inside the ground. So inside the ground, rotting. They don't bring them out. So that is a hypogea. Hypo. The word hypo means below. Why? Happy means what? Above. Are we together? So take note of that. Then, even from the name, mono means what? What does mono mean? Mono. One say mono. Mono means one. So they are called monocotyledonous plant because they have only one seed leaf. Have you seen maize before? When you see the seed, when they cook this maize seed, when you want to eat, there's one yellow thing you can press from, if this is maize seed like this. See, there's one yellow triangular thing here. If they cook it, you can use your hand to press it out. Are we there? That is the embryo. But the entire thing here that you eat is the cotyledon. We call it endosperm. Are we together? Only one. But if you look at dicot like granite, have you seen granite before? You can split it into two parts, Abi. Each of those two parts, each of them is a cotyledon. Cotyledon. Have you seen beans before? Yes. You can split it into two parts also, Abi. Each of those two parts is one cotyledon. How many cotyledon is that? Two. That's why they are called dicotyledon. Di means what? Two. But maize is only one that cotyledon. That cotyledon is called seed leaf. It's called what? Seed leaf. That is the first leaf that the seed will bear when it's coming out from the ground. Are we there? So that is cotyledon. So they have only one cotyledon. Only one cotyledon, that is seed leaf. Only one seed leaf. Another word for cotyledon is what? Is seed leaf. Seed leaf. Okay, number six. The features, the general properties of monocotyledonous plants. Now let's go inside their stem. They are conducting tissues or vascular tissues. What are vascular tissues? Are scattered within their stem. So inside there, so let's say this is stem like this. The stem that is cut like this. The stem of a monocot that they cut like this. This is the skin is called epidermis. What did I call it? Epidermis. You also have epidermis in our own skin too. These are vascular bundles. Vascular bundles are conducting tissues, pipes that they use to absorb, to transport water and soil nutrients from the ground up their body. Those conducting tissues now, they are scattered within the stem. This is the stem. Then number 7, their stem lacks pit. There is no pit. Pit is there's no pit. Okay, I will explain that. Let me show you this. Number 8. They are vascular bundles. their vascular bundles are well arranged in the root, in their root. Well arranged. Let's say this is the root of a monocot that they cut. So we have something like this. This is the root epidemy, root epidermis, root epidermis. Then the vascular bundles are arranged in a cyclical fashion like this. Cyclical, well arranged. They are not scattered. They are not scattered. This gap at the center now is called pit. Pit. And here now there is nothing like such here. Nothing like pit here, right? Pit, the gap where there is no vascular bundle located. So then another thing to know about them is that they lack cambium. They don't have cambium. And they lack cambium in their roots and stem. Cambium is what would have made them to be growing fatter. You can see mango. Mango used to grow fatter. Abi, dicot used to grow fatter. But this one they don't have it. So they undergo only primary growth. What is primary growth? Primary growth. You undergo only primary growth. Only primary growth. Which is the growth in height. So they do not undergo secondary growth. They do not undergo secondary growth. What is secondary growth? That is growth in height or diameter due to lack of cambium. I will show you what cambium is when I get to the stem of dicot. Okay? They don't have cambium, and because they don't have cambium, they cannot undergo secondary growth. You cannot see maize plant becoming fat like mango tree, because they don't have cambium that would have made them to do so. So that is, all these are the general properties of monocots. Their flowers are not colorful. They have non-conspicuous or non-attractive flowers. Their flowers are not colorful. So they lack colorful flowers. So that's why their flowers are not pollinated by insects, because they are not attracted. They are rather pollinated by wind or water, especially wind. Now, let's look at the class Dicotyledonale. So members of this class are called dicot plants or dicotyledonous plants. So examples are members of the family Fabaceae or Leguminaceae. That is beans family. Other ones, e.g. soya beans, e.g. Beans itself, the one we eat. We have the soya beans. soya beans. We have the Caesalpinia pucerrima, Caesalpinia pucerrima, the one they call Pride of Barbados. Pride of Barbados. Then it's not that only family. Family Fabaceae, Malvaceae. Family Malvaceae. E.g. okra. The okra, tomatoes. You have this zobo, hibiscus sabdarifa, hibiscus rosa sinensis, hibiscus rosa sinensis, hibiscus sabdarifa, the one they used to make it zobo, hibiscus sabdarifa, and some other tree families like mango, cashew, and etc. Any plant you will see that has a broad leaf, most of them are what? They are dicotyledonous plants. So let's look at their features. General properties. General properties of dicot plants. General properties of dicot plants. Number one, look at this mango leaf we have here. Can you see about it? The leaf. They have broad leaves. The leaves are broad, unlike the grass we showed the other time, which is a monocot. So they have broad leaves. Number one. First, let's start with the number of cotyledons they have. They have 2 seed leaves. That is 2 cotyledons. I told you, if you open beans, if you soak beans, if you split it into 2 parts, the 2 parts now, each of them is a cotyledon. So we have 2 cotyledons all together. Then number 2, they have broad leaves. Their leaves are broad. I've shown you that. Then another thing is that their leaves have netted vein. Have what? Their veins are not parallel like what we saw. Look at this one. These are the veins like this. This is like a net. So you can see it now. This is netted vein like this. This line like this. They are like net. They have netted veins. So that's that. Now another thing about them is that they exhibit a PG germination as they bring out their cotyledons. They bring out their cotyledons during the first few days of germination of their seeds. So when their seeds are coming out, they come out with their, have you seen it before? When you plant beans, just go and plant beans and wash it after 7 days. Don't go and be shaking it and be rooting it. After 7 days, to come out with the two halves up. Are we there? Or mango. Plant it. When it is dry, you will see what I'm talking. That kind of germination is called epigil germination.
Is it those kind of beans that is cooked?
Yes, now the one you cook. Is there 2 types of beans? Then another thing about them is that they have taproot system. Taproot system. What's a taproot system? A type of root in which several root branches called secondary roots arise from a main root called primary root. I've shown you this before. In that plant I show you this it here. You have one main root. This is the one main root that grows like this. Other roots are from the main root. So the main root is called primary root, while other smaller roots, they are called the secondary root. So that is taproot system. And number 6 is diagram. Number 6 now. Number 6. So they have vascular bundles. That is xylem and phloem. Are well arranged in their stem, unlike monocot in which they are scattered. You have the epidermis well arranged in a circular pattern, like this. This is epidermis, their skin. Epidermis. This is a parenchyma tissue. This is xylem. This is phloem outside. Phloem. Why this is a xylem? These 2 of them now are called vascular bundle. Vascular for absorption bundles. So in between them you have cambium. This cambium is what this cambium, when it divides, look out I'm doing here. This cambium makes them to become fat. They grow in guides, because when this thing grows, when it divides, it becomes more. As it's becoming more, it pushes the diameter, then the plant. So now number 7, they have cambium in between their xylem and phloem. In between the xylem and phloem of their vascular bundle. And because of this, they exhibit both primary growth, which is growth. What is primary growth? That is growth in height, and secondary growth. That is growth in height or diameter. What makes it so? Due to the presence of what? Presence of cambium. So they have cambium that can make them to grow in diameter. So another good thing about them is that, have we thought about a taproot system? Taproot system.
Taproot, yes.
We have thought about it.
Yes.
Yes, we have thought about it. Yes, I remember now. So this center now is pit. So there is a white pit in their stem. You have white pit. Have we thought about broad leaves?
Yes.
And netted vein?
Netted vein.
Yes, we have thought about broad leaves. Yes.
I cannot remember.
We have thought about. So let's talk about their root. Their root lacks pit. They don't have pit in their root. As the space for pit is replaced, is occupied by star-shaped xylem. So we have, this is their root. So you have something like xylem, like a star. So you now have something like this. This is root here. This is root here. This is root epidermis, or you call it a piliferous layer. Piliferous layer. So this is phloem. Phloem or wood. Another name for phloem is wood. I mean bark. Bark. Why this is a xylem? Xylem or wood. This is their root. So there is no pit. So one thing you will see is that in monocot, in the stem, there is no pit because the vascular bundles are scattered. But in dicot, there is a pit because the vascular bundles are well arranged in the stem. But in the root of monocot, the vascular bundles are now well arranged with wide pit. But in dicot, the root now lacks pit because of the presence of star-shaped xylem tissue. So let's test ourselves based on JAMB questions, past questions. Which of the following is not a characteristic of monocotyledonous plants? A. Occurrence of secondary thickening. Do they undergo secondary thickening? That is growth in diameter. Have you seen a maize becoming fat like a? No. Parallel veination. Yes, their leaves have parallel veins. They have narrow leaves with parallel veins. We are looking at monocot. That's the answer. They have parallel veination. Then we are talking about scattered vascular bundles. This is correct. Okay, we are looking at what is not. What is not? Occurrence of secondary thickening is not. They have parallel veination. They have scattered vascular bundles in their stem. The floral parts are arranged in trees. I didn't say this one. Add it to the information. They are floral parts. They are arranged in trees or multiple of trees. Number 2, angiosperms and gymnosperms belong to the plant group known as what? A. Schizophyta, B. Bryophyta, C. Pteridophyta, C. D. Spermatophyta. What is it? Spermatophyta. Number 3, which of the following features are all associated with monocot? A. Fibrous root system. Do they have fibrous root system? Yes, now monocot. Look at their root. Fibrous.
Yes.
Fibrous root system. Branch network vein. Do they have branch network vein or parallel vein? It's parallel vein they have. They don't have branch network vein. So that's disqualifying that place. And one seed leaf, they have one seed leaf, but this middle part now. Then next one is fibrous root system. Yes. Do they have two seed leaves? No. It's dicot that have two seed leaves. So then option C now. One seed leaf, yes. Petals in trees, yes. They have petals in trees. Then is that all? And parallel venation. So answer is what? C. So let's go and look at some other questions. Let's look at this last one. Number 4. Monocots are easily recognized by their words. Short leaves. Monocot.
No, sorry.
They have
monocot is one.
They have long and palm-like. Because palm trees are also monocot. Palm-like leaves. Why not sword? Is that one that look like needle, which is angiosperm that are sword-like. It's these ones that are sword-like. This one. So these are like palm. Seed plants are divided into what and what? Seed plants generally. What are seed plants? Spermatophytes are the seed plants. So they are divided into what and what? A. Monocot and dicot. B. Talophytes and bryophytes. C. Tracheophytes and fern. D. Angiosperm and gymnosperm.
B.
No, angiosperm and gymnosperm now. Seed plants are the plants that have flower. They are called flowering plants. They are further divided into angiosperm and gymnosperm. I would say gymnosperms are the ones that have needle-like leaves. We have a naked seed. These ones. So why angiosperm is divided into monocot and then dicot. So number 6, seed plants are the most dominant plant on land. Why? Why are they the most dominant? They have vascular bundles that they can use to draw water from the ground. So you can find them anywhere. Most plants now, if most plants which are non-vascular plants, if their seed gets to a place where, if their spore get to a place where they will not see water, they can't grow. But these ones, they will just, so far they can germinate, their seed will draw water because they have vascular bundles. There's always availability of water, and that is option D. Then number 7, angiosperms and gymnosperms they belong to a class what? Angiosperms and gymnosperms belong to the class what? That's what you just did now. Repetition. Spermatophyta. So that is all in biology for today.